Hiya, welcome to Nigel K's tomato growing video. As I say, just an update today on how things are doing, what we've been doing the last 2 weeks, and a look at the tomatoes and the different varieties, see how they're performing. It's a bad day today, it's 31st of May and it's raining, and we've had 2 or 3 weeks of good sunshine, but back to good old rain at the moment. So if you can hear rain on the greenhouse, I'll try and speak up. Right, so down this side we've got our Shirleys. As you can see, the trusses are well, plenty of tomatoes on, all the way up the plant. As you can see, nice full trusses, plenty of tomatoes on. So the Shirleys are doing well. We've got Shirleys right up this side of the greenhouse here. I'll show you all these all the way. As I say, full trusses. Nice tomatoes on there. This variety is doing very, very well. What we've actually done is since we've done the last video, we started stripping off some leaves. We've took off leaves probably just past the first truss and before we've got to the second truss. So effectively that lets the light get through to the tomatoes, lets air flow right round the greenhouse, and lets plenty of light and sunshine when we have it get right to the tomatoes. And it also concentrates the nutrients and everything and the feeds to get to the tomatoes rather than the leaves. So a couple of weeks ago we actually stopped them. We nipped the grown tip out of them. So we actually stopped them growing. So that means effectively all the nutrients now are going into concentrating on getting into the tomatoes and concentrating on getting those fruits swelled up to a nice particular size. So by stripping the leaves off and by stopping the tomatoes and still removing any side shoots that come within the plant knuckle, any little robber's side shoots that come there, still carry on taking them. The very small one, as I say, a little bit small, but see the idea, just take them away. So effectively the nutrients at the moment are just concentrating now in going into the tomatoes themselves and hopefully swelling those trusses to give us a nice crop. Now over this side we've got our 6 money maker. Again, they're nice tomatoes. We've got nice full trusses of money maker tomatoes here. So this variety is doing very well as well. The next 6 further down here are Alicante. We've actually had a red tomato this week. So we've picked our first red, and it was Alicante that was the first one ripe. So from planting out into the grow bags to picking the first red tomato, it was actually 10 weeks. So not bad going that really, 10 weeks. So there's only one so far that's become red, a little odd one on its own. It was a nice size one, maybe as big as a snooker ball. So that took 10 weeks, that was Alicante. So the Alicante ripened first out of the experiments that we've done in the large size tomatoes. So our next tomatoes down were honeycomb. Again, these have done well. There's quite a few off these. The honeycomb have been ripening up nice. These are orangey red tomato when they're ready. So again, we've been picking these for about 2 weeks, so they've done very well. As I say, they're a nice variety, very, very sweet, and they ripen within about 9 weeks of planting them out into the ground. Ones down with Cavendish, so these 3 are Cavendish again. Trusses are doing nice and well, nice filling up with tomatoes. Maybe not quite as big as the Shirleys, but as I say, they're still a nice sized tomato. And the last 3 down here, first time I've grown them. These are doing very well as well. I'm probably going to do these next year. These are ones called Panvoy. As I say, they're supposed to be a sister variety to like the Shirleys. Again, all the trusses all the way up are all filling quite nicely with tomatoes, so they're doing very, very well. Very pleased with these. Then we've got our Brandywine Red, which is beef tomato. These are starting to come up nice as well. They're swelling nice for the beef tomato. They're doing well. And also Prudence Purple. So not a lot on these, but what there is are quite big. So the small trusses, but they are a beef tomato, so, but yeah, they're nice. And finally, our last 3 are actually Brandywine Pink. So again, the fruits are coming on these nice as well. Nice, interesting to see what these will be like when they get maturity. So yeah, so overall this last fortnight's been quite good in the greenhouse. What we've been doing feed wise, we have been feeding 3 times a week with our Grow-A-Lot soluble tomato feed. 3 times a week we've been getting those. Once every 2 weeks we've been feeding with calcium nitrate. Very important, feed once every 2 weeks with calcium nitrate. And every 2 weeks as well we've been putting 10 ml of powdered seaweed meal around each plant. So that's what we've been doing. So effectively, you know, 3 times a week with the tomato feed, and every other week, as I say, with the calcium nitrate. And the calcium nitrate's working well. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I shouldn't be there, we'll take that off. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. No blossom end rot whatsoever. No dead flowers dropping off. No black marks under the tomatoes. So yeah, calcium nitrate's doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's preventing blossom end rot, which is the gardener's biggest nightmare when you're growing tomatoes. And again, we've been spraying once a week or once a fortnight with our natural organicide, natural organic insecticide, which you've seen in previous videos. I've been showing people about that. Again, no green fly, no black fly, no white fly. The plants are completely clean. Well, I'll come back again. We'll have another video in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully we should be starting to pick some of these tomatoes in a couple of weeks' time. Join us then. Bye bye.